Hello, Dr. Wendy.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. It's great to see you.
And welcome to the Global Virtual Summit 2026, Dr. Wendy. And before going to start your session, I want to introduce you to our audience.
Thank you.
Dr. Wendy Mulcaster Tingbland is a globally recognized education thought leader, award-winning author, and founder of Systematic to Education Fund, advancing social emotional learning to pay since 1996, honored in 2025 with the IFIP Global Inclusion Award, and Outstanding Keynote Speaker Award in Paris from Ideas. And she blends leadership, creativity, and faith to promote empathy and inclusive innovation worldwide. That was a great bio, and you have done a great job, Dr. Wendy. And the stage is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you. So I uploaded my PowerPoint already. Do you pull that up for me then to get that started?
Can we shall we present from our end, right?
You the air meet asked me and I pulled it. I put it on for you.
Okay.
It says Euro women.
Okay. Please give me a minute.
Sure. I don't have the arrow again because I already uploaded it just now or just a few minutes ago. While we're waiting, thank you so much for, oh, there we go. Perfect. That's great. Thank you. Okay, so here we go. Perfect. So thank you, everybody. First of all, thank you, IDI. Can you hear me? IDIAS. Thank you for participants for showing so much love and effort in coming to be at my talk today. You could be so many other places. There's so much going on in our world, in your families, in your professions. So I'm deeply grateful that you've chosen to be with me. Again, thank you. I do want to take this time because of what's happening in our world, in USA and every country in our world is feeling the trauma of conflicts. I'd like us to take a moment and think about the people lost, the people going through trauma. I'm going to close my eyes and do the same. Thank you. And the other thing I'd like us to lift up in the beginning, this is our Euro Global Women's Rise Ultimate Leadership Conclave Week. And the topic is breaking barriers, building legacies, and women leading the future. I want us in our mind's eye to quickly just bring in whoever inspired you, male or female, in your lives so that you could be who you are, so that you can stand firmly with your feet under you to offer leadership in every aspect of your life. Think about who they are and honor them. Honor them. Thank you. Let's keep going. Here's the title of our talk today, or my talk today: Owning Our Destiny to Lead Harmony, Peace, wow, and empathetic order for a world in chaos. I do want to tell you that I wrote this many months ago, but yet it hit me pretty hard last night when I reread my work and what I'd done with this PowerPoint and the abstract. So again, I come to you with utmost respect and with dignity as we are looking at this as quite relevant at this time. Breaking barriers is the first part. I chose Indira Gandhi, who was a female leader in India, as many of you know. There is no permission needed to originate, innovate, and lead in previously male-dominated fields. This is about deciding to own our talents, intellects, and capabilities, to apply our areas of expertise. In this, we offer our female sensibilities to a world that will benefit from the wisdom, heart, and passion women bring to every role we take on in life. Women have a sense of responsibility to well-being for all people that is unmistakable. Women are highly collaborative and share power more easily, generally. There are exceptions to this. As a USA resident, I'm not saying names, but I will call out women that I have recognized who are not embodying the things that I am talking about and who do not come from equity and inclusion and loving all people. We are peacekeepers and harmony builders most often. Women don't seek to conquest. We seek to be excellent at what we do while finding great joy in nurturing people, projects, organizations, and enterprises. We lead with heart and empathy. In a patriarchal world, we are fooled into believing we are best as support or secondary only instead of leaders. That narrative needs to be retired. We must revisit the old programs we internalized to stay small and supportive only. Consequently, we must fully embrace our innate, natural, uniquely female capacities we possess as leaders, intellects, and innovators to show up for a world in chaos that truly needs exactly who we are. Building our legacies. Legacies I would support are ones that contained a collaborative, empathetic, loving spirit applied to life, relationships, industry, education, family, community, and world service. Admittedly, I've never been comfortable with the idea of being concerned with one's legacy. I suppose it kind of carries a connotation of self-focus or self-importance in my mind upon having contemplated that word and phrase. However, I would like to offer that I seek to be the best version of myself each day. That's the most important to me. I hope to share the best of me in the areas I've chosen to offer my energy, love, and empathy. I hope that I have made an easier trail behind me once I've created works and achieved positive impact for women, children, and all people through our nonprofit, multimedia, and including technology. I will embrace the phrase building legacies out of deep respect for IDIAS and the manner in which it was offered in this theme. In doing so, I share also that mentorship, encouraging other leaders, is exceedingly important to me, knowing my life is finite. To know people can carry on, having been hopefully empowered to continue work and ideas I began and offered and implemented, is paramount to me. My hope is that my work can be perpetuated in a very precious to me indeed. But this is a really important aspect of this that I want to make point about. It is my hope, though, that people carry on their own authentic selves, not seeking to completely emulate me, but to be their full selves, right? I was inspired by women in leadership. My college Lutheran church had a female and male pastor. I recognized that was profoundly impactful to lead and love the college congregation I belonged to at that time. Additionally, I'd paid close attention to my female pastor's leadership style without realizing it until years later. She led with grace, a collaborative ease, dignity, and self-respect. I was struck by how important it is for both genders to be present in every field. That support and unexpected informal mentorship of sorts built a legacy that led to my sensibilities and informed my entire life. My hope is that those I mentor carry on a collaborative, empathetic, loving spirit applied to life, relationships, education, family, community, and world too. I was very close to becoming a Lutheran pastor, having been encouraged to consider it by this pastor and others. Instead, I have chosen personally to lead in the male-dominated education field, multimedia arts, and technology fields. I am deeply troubled to see mostly men leading in technology and media. A woman's perspective and voice is long overdue. I am grateful for Oprah Winfrey, Ava DuVernay, Nancy Myers, and others who have blazed trails, though. I believe I can utilize media and technology to help normalize women in male-dominated fields by exposing young girls to images of female pilots, for example, and playing games and technological learning about aviation by seeing themselves. Women leading in the future. Women are natural leaders in every aspect of their lives. You know this. We lead in everything we do. They lead in a multitude of areas simultaneously already. We serve our families if we have families. We serve in professional realms. We serve as mentors. We serve everywhere. Women are phenomenal problem solvers and bridge builders. I am in awe of women in our world at every level of education, industry, and those who are moms who have chosen to raise families both while working outside home or not. Every woman I know has enormous abilities intellectually, social, emotionally, and creatively. It is an imperative to support, encourage, and allow for the enormous emotional strength, talents, and intellectual gifts women have to offer our world through their heart-centered collaboration embossed leadership. Our world needs us now. Absolutely needs us now. A woman knows how to bring order from chaos. It's written in our DNA. We know this. We nurture, offer calm and solutions to anything and any problem. That is who we are. Women share power more easily as well, as I said before. We choose to share in collaboration for harmony and peace. We embody empathy, which is a bridge to connection. These are not necessarily gender specific, also as I spoke before about, but I am speaking about the women who mentored and loved me and still do, who absolutely exemplified this. And I hope to do that too and encourage others. Here's a little bit of my background for people who don't know anything about me. I created and launched an organization called Jelly Beans Creative Learning to help re-educate parents and teachers about the value of play. That began in 1996. I ran this in Minnesota until 2014. I originated a play, SEL, meaning social emotional learning focused program, as an anti-violence mechanism to respond to the violence by youth responsible for shootings and killings like that Columbine shooting. It was in Colorado in the USA. I surmised a young person making that choice may not have been fully supported in early childhood. Once I had taught in this many years, I shared best practices with teachers through statewide training and keynotes to empower educators in Minnesota for nearly 30 years. Throughout this time, I advocated for the needs of youth and re-educated parents and teachers about the value of play. As a result of inner city projects, it expanded my view to recognize that marginalized students were not given the same opportunities and were burdened by the trauma of a white-powered focused country and what they perpetrated upon them and their families. I could not unsee the inequity. Consequently, I honored the voices of my students beyond that experience. Equity became interwoven in my teaching, training, writing, and academic work. As a children's author, playwright, lyricist, and poet, I used rhyming books and musical plays as another method to demonstrate examples of the social emotional learning that was important to me, including empathy and equity in play, through play. This is just a fun picture because I'm giving you lots of information. To stop for a moment. I actually met my husband at a Barnes and Noble book signing, and this was his daughter when she was 8 at the time. I met him when they were 8 and 11. I give that as an example because we are more than one thing all the time. That gift that we have of simultaneously serving and doing and juggling is something that's amazing for leadership. Here's Roseville, Minnesota. This is an example of women showing up for each other. One of my dear friends here is a nurse, another one an educator. All of a sudden, the two of them showed up at a Barnes & Noble signing, and they were ready to. They wanted to help me set up, not only come there to be supportive of me, but really get down and do things too. Incredible. But that's what's important. Showing up for each other, being proud of each other, honoring each other, not competing with each other. So as I said, I started the other organization. Next, I launched Sissy Mary Sue. That was about the books. Okay. So through my writing, I encouraged teachers. I supported teachers and parents and youth. I also encouraged within the books ecological justice. I collaborated with Cheetah Conservation Fund, H2O for Life, International Elephant Foundation. And in fact, I collaborated with a lot of college-age interns over the years. And the college and high school age interns actually did the illustrations for my books, which to me is incredible because it's that collaborative spirit that I think we women as leaders bring to the table. We love sharing. We don't need the limelight. We don't need all the attention. We love other people getting to have all of it too, because we know that's the power. The most of the positive, loving power comes from collaboration and sharing. Here's my aim and objective today and always. Empower women to own your gift through whatever field you aspire to or reside within. We can retain our authentic selves as women, as leaders. It is our female energy that offers a uniquely comforting way of being to a world in pain and chaos. My materials that are offered today are the examples of work that you see that I'm passionate about. I would like to mention the history, though, right now, changing gears, of patriarchy and misogyny in our world. It is crucial to explore ways that we have been socialized and indoctrinated to not embrace our whole selves as women leading in male-dominated fields. I encourage books on patriarchy and seeking out voices from those who have gone before us verbally, having interactions, exchanges, asking questions, and in reading, finding other books, and listening to biographies of women whose shoulders we've really stood on and we still stand on. Margaret Wheatley wrote Order in a Chaotic World. I had in one of my systems classes in my doctoral work. Wonderful book, wonderful book. I was going to talk about that more, but I chose not to today. But you know the name now. My work and books encapsulate, as you've heard, social and ecological justice concepts. Okay, so the Jelly Beans, the Cheetah and Hope, Empathy Airlines, Jelly Beans, the Cheetah and Hope book 2. Also, it has representation. It shows kids from all backgrounds, not just one kind of child, one kind of person. There was that Black female pilot on the plane who encouraged the main character, Nicole, or later Hope, that she could be a pilot too. And she is a biracial girl, actually. I just never talk about that in the description because it felt like when I put that book in the world, that was a non-issue. But for the purpose of this, I wanted you to know that detail. So you sort of get the idea. I'm going to keep going with this. My creative play work, conservation is very important for me. I really do think that when we are informing our children and encouraging young people from early on to care about each other and the natural world, the world is enhanced, and they're those kind of leaders. Here's my results and discussion. This is where I want you to come in with me. Who instilled confidence in you as a girl or adult that you could do any job or be anything you chose? My father did that for me. My teachers and later professors did that too. In fact, my dissertation committee was the majority men, which taught me how to stand up in male-dominated higher education. Okay, here's an example for me. But I want you to think, as I'm reading this, I want you to think about, what was it for you? In junior high, I declared to my parents that I wanted to be an architect. When it came time to sign up for classes for 7th grade, when I was growing up, girls took sewing and cooking while boys took shop and drafting. I asked my parents if I could attend the section with drafting, since it aligned with becoming an architect. Back in the 1970s, in the USA, my parents actually had to set up a meeting in person at my Anchorage, Alaska school. They had to advocate for me to be given that right to take that class normally meant for the boys at our school. I was one of only 2 girls in the class. I did not become an architect in life, but still, the support was clear by my dad and stepmom, who went to the school on my behalf. That same summer, when I was still in that architect mindset, I'd mentioned to my paternal grandfather I wanted to be an architect. To which he replied, "Girls aren't architects." I told my dad about the exchange. My dad said, "Don't listen to my dad. You can do whatever you choose." Here's another example. Another memory lovingly seared into my brain is when my dad sought to empower me when I was an adult. I was 19 and a flight attendant at the time for Reeve Aleutian Airways in Alaska. We flew the Aleutian chain and overnights to Seattle. My dad said this emphatically one day: "Don't be the flight attendant, Wendy. Be the pilot." Love that. I did not take this to relay my dad was not proud of me. He just believed I had abilities I may not have recognized in myself. Also, his point was clearly communicating to me to not be intimidated as a woman to enter male-dominated positions and fields. Not surprisingly, I went back to college shortly after that, since I was predictably bored as a flight attendant. I clearly had heard my dad loud and clear. In retrospect, it helped me to recognize I was someone who needed intellectual and creative challenges as well as variety. This is not to discredit flight attendants. I went through the training and have utmost respect for them and what they go through in order to graduate and serve in that capacity. I did not become a pilot. However, I was fascinated by planes and flight. I gave a speech in college about that and the airfoil specifics of a square parachute I had flown. You see, I parachuted around the same time, not tandem either, it was static line. When my boyfriend had shared that he'd parachuted, I decided I needed to prove as a woman I could do that too. My dad's empowerment was in my head. I signed up to jump. The male trainer was very supportive, telling me women are far better at parachuting, in fact, for a variety of reasons. Once home from the successful jump, my dad's comment was, "I knew I would have a daughter who could do that." I jumped one more time a year later. I never, oh, sorry, just a second, something. I love it when these things come up all of a sudden on your computer. I was never a pilot, but I flew a square parachute twice and was given the yoke of a small plane once for a short interval. When I was in Alaska, it was really fun because it was when I was at home in Alaska. It was fun to fly just a bit. As a person with health issues, that excluded me from becoming a pilot. However, I can still find great joy in encouraging all girls to consider the aviation field. Take a look at the picture. The female Black pilot, as I mentioned before, encourages hope in my second book that she can become a pilot too. The TV and film projects we are developing all have aviation themes to encourage this. I plan to do the same in technology. I'm dedicated to inclusion in aviation. Here's where you come in again. Were there men in your life who were sending messages that caused you to question your ability to achieve in school, college, or male-dominated fields? Were men you knew insecure with you achieving? Were there men who waffled on offering support and belief in you? Sometimes, this is really important, I think, sometimes we must discern with whom we share our dreams and give access to our ideas. We need to keep our cards close, so to speak, to us with regard to some men in our lives who send us messages we may internalize. In some cases, sort of in our world at large too, and even closer in, it would be futile to seek to counter the negative feelings about women some men hold. We can't help everyone with that. We can model how great we lead and what we do. Here's my conclusion. Owning our destiny to lead harmony, peace, and empathetic order for a world in chaos. Own your desires and dreams. Embrace your gifts. As a woman, to be applied in any field, empower yourself to clean out any internalized or conflicting messages that were spoken to you or accepted from multimedia that you could not go where you want to go or be in whatever field you want to be in this life. Be your authentic self. Be who you choose to be. Be where you choose to be. Mixed messages from media, world, the men and women who influence us and who may model contrary behaviors at times is a lot to process, but we must identify it. We must identify it all when it comes. Men seeking to dominate us, or when they treat women in our family with disrespect and archaic expectations, must be recognized and duly noted by us, but not normalized in our minds. Not normalized in our minds. Noticing it. Each generation we can improve. Noticing it. Noticing it. I had a situation in life where I had a dad empower me, as you heard, but then model the opposite with my mother and stepmother. Did you experience mixed messages about expectations in being a woman by something like this? It's pretty common. Prominent women, moms, aunts, and so on in our lives also send mixed messages about being a woman to us too, with what they choose to tolerate. But I have empathy about that. It's not a judgment, just observation, duly noted, right? Observation, putting it where it needs to be, okay? I know too that male figures in our lives may seek to empower us, but then resort back to telling us what exactly to study in college, for example, thinking they need to guide us instead of allowing us to decide for ourselves who we want to be. This is patriarchal, not empowerment. It could even be considered controlling or domineering. Your authentic choices deliver an authentic self and an authentic life. Be the woman you choose to be. Women as leaders embrace growth and discovery in themselves and all others. I love that about us. Just like those women at the signing. We do this just so naturally. They guide and empower. They embody harmony, peace, and empathetic order for a world in chaos. Here's my closing. This is a punctuation from the opening. It's repeat. The educator in me always does this at the end to say what I said in the beginning. Thank you so much for being with me. Women are natural, incredible leaders in every aspect of their life. Some of you know that I have a husband who has glioblastoma brain cancer. I will say this very quickly before I continue with this. I believe that when we have the capacities that we do as leaders in our professional life, it actually enhances and helps us in realms that we didn't know much about. I didn't know much about the meds or dealing with Mayo or anything with what Tim would need from me. I don't have a science degree. I have an education doctorate. So it's all interwoven. It all goes together. What we're good at as parents too, similarly, is applied to our leadership in our professions or in other parts of our world. I love that. Anyway, I'm going back to that, but I did want to just make sure I said that about that piece. We lead in a multiple of areas simultaneously. Say that one more time. And I love that about us. We're amazing that way. Women are phenomenal problem solvers and bridge builders. I am in awe of the women in our world at every level of education, industry, and those who are moms who have chosen to raise families. Every woman I know has enormous abilities intellectually, social, emotionally, and creatively. It is an imperative to support, encourage, and allow for the enormous emotional strength, talents, and intellectual gifts women have to offer our world through their heart-centered, collaboration-embossed leadership. Our world needs us now. A woman knows how to bring order from chaos. It is written in our DNA. We nurture, offer calm, power more easily as well. We choose to share in collaboration for harmony and peace. We embody empathy, which is a bridge to connection. Here's just some fun little pictures. When I first met Tim, his girls were 8 and 11, and they're now 22 and 19. My son is over here with his wife. That's me just out and about. Just wanted you to just get a visual. And again, the punctuation that we as women are incredible with how many things we manage and handle. We also are so good at dealing with a multitude of different personalities simultaneously, which is another skill applied within leadership that is invaluable. This is a podcast interview I did with Mamie Lanford Singleton and retired Colonel George London, who was the first test pilot for a C-17 plane. He was in the Air Force at a time when very, very few Black males were in. Inclusion in aviation is very important to me. Mamie cares deeply about that as well, about opening that field to kids of color. They both are encouraging that in their own nonprofits. They're part of an aviation subcommittee that we have. So I just want to show you that. It's important to me too. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you for taking your time with me. Thank you for the love that you give in the world. Thank you for the love that you give to your families, to your profession, to your town, to your state, to your country, to our world. We all bring such love and such empathy naturally as women. And I'm so honored to be in all of your glow at this time with so much gratitude, love, hope, and empathy for everyone in our world family. Again, I'm Dr. Wendy Mulhauser-Tingblad, aka Sissy Mary Sue. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it. If anyone has any questions, I don't know if I went long.
Yes, thank you so much for your presentation, Dr. Wendy. As
Thank
like
you.
always, you have delivered your talk very impactful. And we have a few questions from our audience, Dr. Wendy. I want to ask you one of them.
Sure.
Why is empathy important in leadership?
Empathy is important in leadership for two reasons. to have empathy for the people that to make sure that people come first. Your initiatives, all of the other things, secondary, always secondary. It's utilizing our humanness, connecting as humans first, and then the other piece, and then empathy as a leader, having that heart is really important, and understanding that within your own life, as you are encouraging people with that. I don't know if that was clear, but just I think it's dual. I think there's two aspects of it. I think it's showing up for people first with empathy, and then understanding the duality of life, where it's not just professional. We're showing up for anybody we're working with, but we're also showing up in our family at the same time. And well, I guess it's a trifecta. I guess we're also showing up in the world too.
Thank you so much for answering, Dr. Wendy. And we have our upcoming conference in New York, USA. We hope we want to join you, and I hope Tim will get well soon. Tim will get cured soon.
Oh, thank you. Can I answer that other question I see really quick? There's a question that says, "Can empathy be taught?" Can I grab that one?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll just do that really quickly. Can empathy be taught, or is it natural? Children naturally are empathetic. Babies are born, their reactions are to feel the feelings of those around us. So it's untaught. And so we sort of reteach it, but it's natural, it's innate, until systems and people and situations and trauma and different things can interrupt it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wendy. And please be on the backstage, and please join the next session.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it. Great to see you. Thank you, everybody, for being with me. And you go out and rock, go out and lead, do anything you want.
Yeah. See ya. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.